Welcome to Christine Vitale's vocal groups and other music for undeniable gratification. The wind is blowing tonight. It's blowing in my hair because it's a hot night and I have to stay cool enough. I want to thank my good friend Tony Smith. Tony Smith on sax is his official name here, and he is the one who has helped me through my messed up stream deck so I could be here streaming right along. Thank you, Tony Smith. I'm good for messing things up. I have to make sure that I get help when I need it sooner rather than later, because it just gets worse. It just gets worse and worse from there. I've got a band coming to Tommy Fox's Public House this coming Saturday. Let me give you a little bit of tip-off on what that's going to look like in terms of band members. Saturday, July 17th at Tommy Fox's Public House. We've got Elena, Joe, and Vinny. Elena and Joe are a couple. Their last name is McLaughlin. Okay, McLaughlin. So they call themselves the Macs. And when Vinny came along, his name is Vinny Sardo, they changed the small s to a large S for Vinny to let him know that he's an official member of the band. So I've got a live thing to bring you right now of theirs that they just did recently. And this is Can't Find My Way Home from Rhodes Tavern. I was not at this show. They do really a killer version of this. And I I'll be emceeing that. So I'm doing my Twitch stream here tonight because, well, I wanted to get some late night twitching going on. However, I seem to be experiencing some technical difficulties. And I'm not sure what they are. Because it says I'm offline. Even though I don't know what's going on. Okay, there I am. I had to refresh my screen. I'm not sure what happened there. But in any case, hopefully you could see this poster. It is an outdoor show. Unless it rains, then they're going to have to move it indoors. But we're going to try not to let it rain that day. And, you know, I have another show coming up the following day. The following day, let me tell you. You got to come to Tommy Fox's on Saturday, July 17th for a 7 p.m. show. But then you got to get a good night's sleep because you got to come back to Tommy Fox's the next day, the 18th, for the next show. It's an early show, so you can handle it. You can handle it. It is Barry Ryan's Rockabilly Express. Check it out. Now, Barry Ryan used to be with the Rockettes, and Barry Ryan also did some collaborations with Gary Setzer. So I want to give you a little taste of that the moment I can, and I'm setting that up right now to make it a reality. So let's see. Am I going to be able to pull this off? Give me a moment. Let me make sure we have it all lined up. And let's listen to Hot Train to Hell. Hot Train to Hell. I'm going to introduce it like this. Hot Train to Hell. Now, look for Barry Ryan coming to Tommy Fox's Sunday, July 18th at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. All right, so you ready for this? Because we're going to go to Hot Train to Hell. What I notice, this is a video, an official video, so it doesn't go to the song right away. It takes a few seconds because it's a scene. So she's walking, a girl's walking over to a jukebox, capturing a lot of attention from men. She takes a sip of an alcoholic beverage, goes over to the jukebox, puts a coin in, and suddenly they cut to the live band. So she's choosing something, probably Hot Train to Hell, because that's what the band's going to play.
Everybody said, a dirty, stinking crew. Don't you raise your voice again, you don't know what they're spinning around in circles, going round and round. Everybody hold on tight, we are going down. Hot train to hell, hot train to hell, hot train to hell, hot train to hell.
And that's the sound of burning flames, because that's what happens when you go to hell. According to this video, at least. I mean, I truly don't know. I haven't been there yet. Well, actually, in some ways, probably, yes. Figuratively. But officially, I haven't made it yet. That's coming one day, maybe. We'll see. That's Barry Ryan. Barry Ryan's Rockabilly Express. And Barry Ryan does some good stuff. Whether he's with the Rockettes, whether he's with Gary Setzer, or he's with Jerry Scaringe from the Slippery Chickens. I'm trying to find something else that I could show you. Not show you, play you. I mean, I'm the one looking. You don't get the benefit of it. That I'm getting. I mean, you could look on your own, but you don't get the benefit of what I'm doing. So I am looking, I'm probing for my next video that I'll be looking at. And you'll be the beneficiary because you get to hear it. It's late at night and I'm struggling to see. But as soon as I can get this on for you, I will. I'm slow. Pardon me for my slowness. Okay, this is really good Barry Ryan stuff. I hope the audio is as good as the video is. Let's see if we could time it so that it goes on right now. They were in the middle of a song. It's worth noting that Barry Ryan is using Jerry Scaringe on bass. Jerry Scaringe from the Slippery Chickens is now joining Barry Ryan to make up a trio, Barry Ryan's Rockabilly Express. These are the Slippery Chickens.
Leave this town, I'm headed for the door. Oh, possessed by the ghost of Dee Moriarty. I'll go to clown and party. I'll go to get my kicks and take my licks. It's in the fiber of my core. My blood runs cold. My wheels bend bold. Give me the road. Give me the road. I got the wanderlust to travel this earth's crust. It's written to read. Who knows where it'll lead? I ask and give no quarter. Lock up your wives and daughters. I got my needs, so you better take heed. Well, where's that red cap porter? I cracked the code. My pack's been stowed. Give me the road. Give me the road. I'm gonna prove the world ain't flat. I'm gonna try and get some cat. Satan's pushing from the back, keeping me on the wrong track. The world is just a speck. At least that's how it seems. At least that's how it seems. In the grander scheme, this ride ain't home. My soul's been sold. Give me the road. Give me the road. My tale's been told. My wheels been bowed. Give me the road. Give me the road.
Those are the Slippery Chickens. And I play them because, well, we like the Slippery Chickens here. We do. On Christine Vitale's vocal groups and other music. And tonight we're playing other music. So hard to see this, right? Get Your Head in the Game is what the name of the album is called. And we are playing this because Jerry Scaringe, who plays bass with Slippery Chickens, is you'll never, I don't know how much you could see this, honestly. These pictures are not, they're not broadcast quality pictures, but he's playing bass with Barry Ryan, and this is the show. I'll be emceeing this coming up this Saturday, or actually Sunday, sorry, it is Sunday, July 18th, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. So there's that. And then I got this other thing I'm doing. It is this, the Max Band. Saturday, July 17th, the Max Band. And they got some great stuff. And I saw them the other day because, sorry, let me fix this. I saw them the other day when I wanted to check them out and get some photos of them because I needed some better photos in order to help promote what they're doing. This lineup had only been together for a few months, and they hadn't gotten a chance to take any good photos. So I wanted to help them. Well, help me, really. Help them, help me. Help them, help me. So I also went to go see them on my own this past weekend. And I was very impressed at the way that they do Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb. So I want to play that. Let's see if we can play that successfully. Here we go. They do a great version for a trio especially. I mean, Joe McLaughlin is on guitar and keyboards. Sorry. Let me get back to the Mac S Band. Max. They're just called Max Band. Elena's on bass. And Vinny on drums.
Just not if you can hear me. Anyone at home? Come on, come on. I hear you feeling down. I got your pain, get you your feet again. Relax. I need some information. Just the basic facts can show me where it hurts. There is no pain you are receiving. A distant ship smoke on your horizon. You are only coming through your way. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. Eyes are shut, I had a fever. Intentions like to lose. I got that feeling once again. I can't explain. You will not understand. This is not how I am. Let me go. Don't do it. Okay. Just a little pinch. There'll be no more. Feel a little sick. Can you stand up? I do believe it's working. Good. That'll keep it going for the show. This time hard to go. There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship turned on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. You live to move, but I can't hear what you say. I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of my eye. I turned to look, but it was gone. I cannot put my finger on it now. The child is grown, the dream is gone. Come to be known.
So Saturday, July 17th. If you're in the northern New Jersey or New York metro area, Tommy Fox's Public House, 32 South Washington Avenue in Bergenfield. Check that out. I will be there to MC. And the next day, it is Barry Ryan's Rockabilly Express. So 2 events in a row. Right here in the local area, Tommy Fox's Public House. It's got that nice Irish pub flair to it, if you like that. But it's going to be outdoors. Both of these events will be outdoors unless the weather makes them have to go indoors. And it's in the rear parking lot. There's free parking, and there's a parking lot behind the establishments. All that line Washington Avenue. So they take a portion of the parking lot and they turn it into their little outdoor cafe. Kind of nice the way that they do that. And that's Tommy Fox's Public House. All right. So good evening, late night. I shouldn't even say good evening, but good late night twitching to Butternut Dave, to Aero Dude, Crow's Nest, and of course, Tony Smith. Tony Smith on sax, who gets the biggest applause of the evening because I couldn't be on if it were not for Tony Smith on sax. And I mean, I wouldn't be on today, because not just on Twitch in general, but today. I'm talking about today because I had a messed up slideshow. I put together a slideshow, and then the slideshow got messed up by me, so I kept trying to fix it. I kept trying and trying to fix it, and then the further I was fixing it, the further messed up I got. It's kind of like when you're driving a car and you're trying to get to where you have to go and you get lost. You get a little lost at first, and then you try to fix it, and then you get more lost, and then you try to fix it, and you get even more lost, and before you know it, you're so far blown off course you can't find your way back. Now that might have been, the case more so in pre-GPS days, but actually I talked about this recently. I was so map oriented that my map reading skills are a better sense of guidance for me than counting on GPS today. GPS has just made me be stuck on stupid, quite honestly. Now I put no effort into it. I expect GPS to do it all. So I lost any sense of direction that I had developed from my map reading skills and from my do-it-yourself kind of driving. How about you guys? How did you do with maps and trying to get to places where you needed to go? I can remember traveling to places, several hours away from here, north, south, east, going into areas of New York that I was not familiar with, like in Queens, trying to find my way around Queens, or even the Bronx, which is huge and very confusing. I did so much better with a map than I do with GPS sometimes, quite often. So how do you feel? I'd like to know. And I see Crow's Nest, you're asking for dig a hole in the meadow. Okay, let me look into that, but I need a moment, so I'm going to just put on some what I had handy. It may not be anybody's thing here, I'm not sure. But it's reggae from my good friend who's from the Bronx, who lives in the Bronx, Andy Bassford. The Harder They Strum. So, I'll be lining up this other cut, but do enjoy this tune. You can get it if you really want. I'll look for the cut. All right, Crow's Nest? Crow's Nest gets lost everywhere she goes. My thinking, though, Aero Dude, is when you know you have to map something out, you work harder mentally to maybe write down some directions, some key points along the map, some landmarks, and you develop a better sense of geography. And yeah, it's true, you might have to pull over to start reading to see if you're on the right track. But it makes you work harder. You have to apply that sensibility. With GPS, you don't do that, but GPS gets very confused at times and doesn't know what to tell you and just gives up. And then what do you do if you don't have a map? Can't do anything. And yeah, Andy Basford's The Harder They Strum, taken from The Harder They Strum, the original soundtrack album, which is based on the The Harder They Come. It's based on that. Andy lives in the Bronx. You know, when I first discovered Andy, I don't know how I did. I guess he made himself a friend of mine on Facebook, because I don't generally make friends on Facebook by reaching out to them. Because I always think to myself, who the hell is going to want to be friends with me? So if I get a friend request, I get plenty of them. Now I'm getting like hundreds of them. I'm sure they're not all legitimate, because these people, I never hear from them after I say, yes, okay, I'll be your friend. You know, I have to vet their profiles really carefully, and even still, maybe they say hi and then they don't say anything after that, but usually they don't even say hi. And a lot of them look completely phony. But, so when I get to them, I get to them. But I guess Andy made himself a friend of mine. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's from the days of the old FM station or what. I'm past that, trying to figure that out. But when I started to look at his profile, and I learned he had a blog, I started reading it and I think, wow, this guy's really arrogant. Like he must be like a real like gem to know. So I was a little timid, but he kept reaching out to me. And then when my mom died, he was really one of the few people who stepped forward and offered to be there for me. And no agenda. You know, he offered to meet up with me because I was having a lot of trouble finding anybody I could talk to. It was a terrible thing. And then we shortly thereafter, I was trying to go to work every day, just really struggling, like beyond anything I've ever struggled with before. And I put up a message on Facebook, something like, there's so many people who say that just reach out to me if you need some support. And it's so insincere, because when you try to reach out to them, they don't have time for you. Or you start to talk to them about the situation and it's so messed up that they can't handle this kind of drama, because it wasn't just the simple passing of my mom. There was a lot of family drama, which was making me really sick. And so he stepped forward and he said, I'll meet you. And he did take like a whole set of hours to just meet with me and talk with me and over dinner. And he even brought me some, soup that he made and everything. And it was brutally cold out that evening, and he still came out and saw me. We went out to dinner. And this was just before everything started to shut down. So I was just very grateful, because he had no judgment at all of me or my family. He just, well, maybe a little bit of my family, but he was a good listener and very supportive and giving guidance. And I really appreciated that, because there's a lot of people who give lip service to the idea of being there, but they truly are not there. Or they're very judgmental, or they're condescending, or they have problems with the kind of person I am. They don't like the way I use words, or, I don't know. That's not usually the case, but let's say it's come up. So I have to be choosy about my friends and who's really a genuine friend. Not everybody fits the bill. Well, Crow's Nest wanted some dig a hole in the meadow. And so I probed around a little, and I have to fess up, I'm not real familiar with this, so I had to do some probing, and I came up with this one. Flat and Scruggs at Carnegie Hall. I don't know if this is hitting the mark with you, Crow's Nest, or not, but let's just give it a try. I appreciate the request, and thanks for being here, everybody who's here.
Dig a hole in the meadow, dig a hole in the cold, cold ground. Dig a hole in the meadow, gonna lay down the cold reed down. wake up, darling Corey. What makes you sleep so sound? The highway robbers are coming. They're gonna tear your playhouse down. Dig a hole in the meadow. Dig a hole in the cold ground. Dig a hole in the meadow. Gonna lay darling Corey down. Well, the last time I seen darling Corey on the banks of the deep blue sea, she had a 44 buckled around her and a banjo on her knee. Dig a hole in the meadow, dig a hole in the cold, cold ground. Dig a hole in the meadow, gonna lay darling Corey down. Wake up, darling Corey, and go get me my gun. I ain't no man for trouble, but I die before I'd run. Dig a hole in the meadow, dig a hole in the cold, cold ground. Dig a hole in the meadow, gonna lay darling Corey down.
Question from Arrow Dude, is that Earl Scruggs? Well, you know, I don't pretend to know for a fact, but I'm inclined to think yes it is. If it's not Earl Scruggs, well then it's somebody Scruggs. Flat and Scruggs. Now maybe Crow's Nest knows better than I do. And Crow's Nest, did you have a specific version in mind that maybe was different than this? Or did I get the song totally, like, twisted in terms of style that you were looking for? Because, well, I can do that. I don't necessarily always know what I'm doing. But I figure I'm happy to at least give it a shot, give it a crack. You know, I'll take a crack at it. Just like I said one night at karaoke, when I was challenged to get up and sing some vocal group song I hadn't ever rehearsed. And I said, well, I'll take a crack at it. And then I ended up winning a prize. And I'm very surprised. If I'm going to win a prize at karaoke, that must mean everybody else is pretty underdeveloped. But some of my karaoke skills have gotten pretty good because I practice a lot, or I used to. I haven't that much, but I got to do really great Judas Priest karaoke. Like, I can... It's surprising to people that I know some of the songs that I do. It's a very specific... It's very specific to be able to sing Judas Priest stuff. And I'm not saying that I sound exactly like Rob Halford, but let's just say I have all the timing down. I know all the words. And I understand the intention of having pronunciation, the enunciation in certain ways. I understand from someone here who's sending me a message that Kiss Story is on, Kiss Story, some people would call it, Kiss Story is on again on the A&E channel 46 on Optimum tonight until 2 a.m. Okay, I don't have access to looking at cable. I don't have that. My internet comes from my phone. It doesn't come from... It comes from my house phone. You know, my landline, so to speak. Nobody ever called it a landline before. But I guess they do now. That's the term. If I say my home phone, am I sounding really outdated? Is that so 1990s or 80s even? I'm not sure. But I'd like to play the Slambovian Circus of Dreams because they've got a lot of material, and this tune is called... This is called Bike. So let's listen. They come from Tarrytown. It's a very storybook kind of place. And they're very storied in their own way. There's a lightning bug flying around here.
skulls on it. He knew just as soon as he sat upon it. It was a gift from Dad from the great beyond. It moved his soul. And he let it roll out into the street. Every eye watched him. Mickey rode free as anyone could be. Everyone wished that they could be as cool as him. Every morning Mickey would go out riding. Life was magic, being alive. Then super cool existence with this enhancer. He spoke to God and he heard God answer. Holy mackerel. Dad had saved his soul. Every eye watched him. Mickey rode free as anyone could be. Everyone wished that they could be as cool as him. But then one day when he went out, something came to cause him doubt. Something came to bust his dreams. Very cold and very mean. A gang of bullies blocked his way, all set to murder lives that day. The biggest one jumped in his face and roundhouse kicked him in the face. Boy and back fell to the grass. Mickey's heart was beating fast. He knew this day could be his last. So he got up and kicked his ass. Ask me no questions, tell you no lies. That creep went down and started to cry. All of his gang ran off in a fray. Mickey grabbed his bike, he rode away. He was in control. When he let it roll. Every eye watched him as Mickey rode free as anyone could be. Everyone wished that they could be as cool as Mickey. Mickey found a bike in his father's garden, black and gold with flaming skulls on it. He knew just as soon as he sat upon it. It was a gift from Dad from the great beyond. From the great beyond. From the great beyond. Mickey found a bike in his father's garden.
You know, I love the Slambovian Circus of Dreams and working with them they deliver. They deliver great elements of surprise and such a diverse set of skills and songwriting sensibility, where everything that they do from song to song could almost easily be a different band, except you can hear it's the same musicians, but capable of so many different styles. And I'm so glad that I got to know them, because I met them really, truly. I came upon them by accident. It wasn't an intention. I was looking for a different band, and instead I found them. The band that I was looking for was actually Caravan of Thieves. And Caravan of Thieves was busy that night that I needed to book them. They were already booked. So I just kept thinking, oh, well, what am I going to do? And then this band, Gandalf Murphy, as they have been called at different points in the past. It's so weird. Like, Gandalf Murphy is the name of the chief person up front, the front person, the one pictured right here. But he's not always called Gandalf Murphy. Sometimes he's called Josiah. And other times he might have a totally different name, but it's the Slambovian Circus of Dreams nonetheless. And they come from Tarrytown, which is a very interesting and sort of not, like it's a very storied atmosphere. And when you drive through the town of Tarrytown, it almost looks like a storybook. And at Halloween time, Halloween especially, so many people flock to Tarrytown because there's so much to do there. And it's very scenic. And it's nice to have the Slambovian Circus come from there because when they're dressed up on the stage, they almost look like storybook characters themselves. And you'll have Tinkerbell. Her name is Tinkerbell, or at least her stage name, Tinkerbell Lloyd, Tink Lloyd. And they sound a lot like Pink Floyd in many ways. And so they got Tink Lloyd playing instruments that her side of the stage looks like a garage sale. She has instruments all over the ground and all different kinds of strange instruments that are not your everyday items that you see people play. And even her son said, I had to grow up with my mom playing all different kinds of instruments. And whatever she picked up, she learned how to play on her own. And yeah, she plays a lot of different things. And then Josiah, her husband, Tink Lloyd's husband, or Gandalf Murphy, whatever name he's going by, he just has his standard guitar. And then there's another lead guitar player, and then the drummer. And it's just a great band to get to know. And I stumbled upon them, and it's one of the greatest stumbling blocks I ever came across, and I've enjoyed working with them. In these days right now, I don't have any opportunities for them because their price tag, which is very reasonable for their skill level, is not something I'm even coming upon these days in an environment where bands are so eager to play live that they're undercutting themselves and playing at such low rates, and there's so many gigs and so many bands being booked like crazy that it kind of prices out it outprices bands like the Slambovian Circus, who are still doing their own thing online, on a pay-per-view kind of thing. And I guess that's best for them, the best strategy that they can come upon. Okay, I see that I did see that version, Crow's Nest. I did see that version of Dig a Hole in the Meadow, but I didn't think you'd be talking about that one. But maybe I could look for it again and spin that one. I had something else in mind, but at this point I'm completely forgetting what it is. But I wanted to go back to playing some of what I was streaming with the Max Band when I went to go see them the other night, because I started automatically streaming them, and they went into a set that I didn't think was characteristic of their skills, but they started doing this, and I thought, okay, this makes them more like a band I would not have expected, but I respect their versatility, and I guess they'd be great at playing at a wedding or something. Not usually what I look for, but this is good. Chain, chain, chain. And again, they'll be at Tommy Fox's this Saturday.
I'm married to you. Train, train, train. Train, train,
Good stuff from the Max Band. And again, this Saturday, July 17th, over at Tommy Fox's Public House. They're making their debut appearance. So I'm doing everything I can because, I make a deal with the club. It's not really a club. It's a restaurant that happens to feature bands. So I make a deal with them that if I give you bands, will you, and make every effort to promote them, will you keep using my services as a business? Studio Chatter, the business. Not just the simple Twitch channel, but, the business. That's all. That's what I'm saying. And they seem to like my services. Not as much as I would like them to like them, but let's just say, I'll take it over nothing. It's helpful. It's local. Local's helpful. It's always helpful in terms of managing time, but I would like to expand out of the area a little bit, like up toward Rockland County, being that I'm on Hudson River Radio, which is Rockland County, basically. I can envision myself at the turning point, and I would love to do some stuff at that historic place. That is an 1800s venue, an 1800s building, an historic venue, a destination venue. Doesn't fit a lot of people. Maximum seating, 75, not a lot. So it's hard to make that mathematical equation work. So you can't have a band who wants too much money, because what are you going to charge when you can only fit in 75 people, not 700. And so that's a quagmire, but there's always a way to make it work with the right band who's willing to work for a price that fits that venue, and where there's some room for me to be paid for my services as well. I don't want to work for free for a for-profit venue. I'll work for free for a non-profit venue if I feel that it's something that I believe in and would benefit a cause that I feel is worthy. But that's getting a little bit off topic. I line this up, Dig a Hole, and this is the bop version.
If you are from where I'm from.
I'm sorry, I messed that up because I was working with still. I forgot. I gotta turn down the volume on the max. But here we go. This should work, I hope. For you, Crow's Nest, especially you.
I dig a hole in the middle. I dig a hole in the cold ground. I dig a hole in the meadow. I gonna lay Dolly Corey down.
And I totally know this is up your alley.
Well, first time I saw her Dolly Corey, she was sitting by the deep blue sea. She had a 44 round body and a banjo underneath. I dig a hole in the middle. I dig a hole in the cold ground. I dig a hole in the middle. I gonna lay Dolly Corey down. Ow! Wake up, oh Dolly Corey. What makes you sleep so sound? Well, the country robbers are coming. They're gonna tear your playhouse down. I dig a hole in the middle. I dig a hole in the cold ground. I dig a hole in the middle. I gonna
Thank you, Butternut Dave, for the emotes. You're feeling the spirit. That Twitch spirit. That studio chatter Twitch spirit at that.
Wake up, Dolly Corey. Go get me my gun. I ain't no man for trouble, but I die before I run. Well, dig a hole in the middle. I dig a hole in the cold ground. I dig a hole in the middle. I gotta lay Dolly Corey down. I gonna lay Dolly Corey down. I dig a hole for the country robbers are coming. They gonna lay Dolly Corey down. I dig a hole in the middle. I dig a hole in the middle. We gotta lay Dolly Corey down. I dig a hole in the middle. I gotta lay Dolly Corey down.
I wanna see your face everywhere I go. Yeah, be at places I know. Happening right now. Big bang pow. I can't get rid of you. No matter how I try.
the creation, Biff Bang Pow. And well, we were listening to some Max Band, and we're gonna end it. We're gonna end that on that note. And they were doing Chain, Chain, Chain.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it. It's Friday night. The people
Sorry.
the party's here on the west side. So I reach for my shorty and I turn it up. Cause I never drive, I take the keys to my truck. If I'm tired cause I'm faded. Parties in the streets, and money's always later. It feels so good in my hood.
A little bit of This Is How We Do It. The Max Band. They go in different directions. Clearly, they could be very versatile and used for things like weddings, something I don't normally do. Although once in a while I have. And I was, I guess, pleasantly surprised at that, their choices in versatility, because it makes me able to consider them for other purposes. But how about this by Barry Ryan? Someday, some way.
You can tell me what you need. All I do is wonder why. Someday, some way. Someday, some way. Someday, some way. Baby, I understand you. After all you've done for me, all I really wanna do, take the love you brought my way, and give it all right back to you. Someday, some way. Someday, some way. Someday, some way. Baby, I understand you. You've taken everything from me. I've taken everything from you. I love you more my whole life through. After all you've done for me, all I really wanna do, take the love you brought my way, and give it all right back to you. Someday, some way. Someday, some way. Someday, some way. Baby, I understand you. You're taking everything from me. I'm taking everything from you. I love you for my whole life through. After all you've done for me, all I really wanna do is take the love you brought my way, and give it all right back to you. Someday, some way. Someday, some way. Someday, some way. Baby, I understand you. Someday, some way. Someday, some way. Someday, some way. Baby, I understand you.
On that note, I think we do have to say our goodnights right now, because, you know, it is getting late and I know people have to get to sleep. I, myself, know that tomorrow morning when I wake up, I gotta face the reality of being back on my computer, struggling to serve the constituents that I'm charged with the responsibility of serving. For those of you who don't know, that's really hard for me. Not just because I can't do that much multitasking, but I do have a problem visually, and it makes it really hard to function. Especially without two computers. They make me work out of one. I need two. Thanks all. This is the Mooch. The Mooch from Swingadelic, the Bluesville album. And I'll show you that right now. Bluesville, Swingadelic. This is written by Duke Ellington and recorded here by Swingadelic. Thank you, Tony Smith on sax. You've been the best friend and great person that anybody could ever want in their lives, honestly. There's only one Tony Smith. I don't even want to talk about how skilled you are, because then everybody's going to want your help. And there's only one Tony Smith. There's not enough of you to go around. So I'm grateful. I'm totally grateful. And all the time you spent with me on the phone this evening, late this evening, to help me to be able to do this stream, I really appreciate you beyond words. And I think you know how much I appreciate you. I do believe you know. Crow's Nest, thank you for stopping by. Butternut Dave, you are one of my favorite Twitch spirited, present, ever present individuals. I'm grateful. And Arrow Dude, who's no longer with us tonight, thank you for your input, for being here, for being a part of the Twitch algorithm, and for sending me pictures that you capture of the live stream. I appreciate it. So let's hear out the rest of the Mooch, Duke Ellington's tune. I love this kind of bluesy stuff. And catch me regularly on a Tuesday with vocal groups and even more. I am such a diehard vocal group fan. I love it. I love the ballads, especially because I love the way these singers can stretch their vocal abilities and capture a mood that may be something you relate to in your personal life and help bring you solace in your struggles, like it does work for me. I don't know what I would do with my life without that in it. Christine Vitale's vocal groups and other music for undeniable gratification. Tonight it was totally about other music, which I'm happy to do because that's also very meaningful to me. I'm going to switch to slideshow, and hopefully that'll go smoothly. Goodness knows I've had my slideshow troubles. But I thank you for being here again. It's going to be my will to Twitch every night this week. Let's see how well I do. Thanks. And good night. Love you all for listening.